Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Rebecca Black welcomes us again to almost the weekend. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Marianne. Heather and I, as we were setting up, were wondering if we should or should not play the new Taylor Swift. Both of us have daughters who were really excited about that today. So some of you out there probably have a similar thing. Laura, good morning. Looking forward to the weekend is correct. Sonia, hopefully you were listening to some Taylor this morning. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. We have a few things on the agenda today. Again, though, our purpose of this time is to send same messages across audiences, across the state, around goals, vision, and upcoming events and things that are happening with early math. Again, light, easy way once a month to share some space together and ask any questions if there are any that are burning. Marianne, I'm assuming you have been listening to Taylor this morning, so sounds like fun. Here's our agenda. We'll start with the vision. We'll just spend a short chunk of time here, but an opportunity for us to just step back as we get closer and closer and closer to the end of this school year and think about what are we here for? What are we striving for? Then we'll dive into CGI. We have some updates on cognitively guided instruction. We'll resurface the Leadership Institute. That one will be quick as well, where we're just going to remind people of registration and give a current state on that. We have our pre-K event that's upcoming in June. We'll say a little bit about that. And then as always, we create a little space for any question and answer that we might have that we didn't talk about in the agenda above. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're just going to take 3 minutes to watch this video. I know many of you may have seen it, but probably haven't seen it in a long time. Like myself, as I was putting the slides together yesterday, it was fun to watch it again, just to remind us of what we're striving for. This video was created a year and a half, 2 years ago with some of our friends around the early math work, and really talks about what we're striving for in early math and across the state of Michigan. So we'll just pause, watch this, and then we'll have a chance just to quickly reflect on any of the things that might stand out for us. Assuming the video works and the sound works. Here we go.
I believe it's important to focus on early mathematics because it's a foundational time in kids' lives where they decide whether they're good at math or bad at math. They learn what math is. They learn whether or not they have a space in math.
We see in research that when kids are born, they see the world as shapes. And so math is already in their lives when they start off, and making that connection early on will help them see that math is real world.
Math is already a part of kids' lives. They're really concerned with how many things they have and whether they have more or less than someone else. They're concerned about fairness. They're concerned about negotiating the physical material world.
Mathematics is a tool to satisfy those questions. So first we want students to be able to see the world around them and ask questions in wonder, and then have the means and understanding to problem solve and explore, and not only understand those for themselves, but to be able to communicate outwardly to those around them.
It's okay when math is confusing. Math is confusing at times, and it's okay if it's messy in the beginning and if you don't have all the ideas. That's just part of the learning process. And also that we learn math together. We have each other for support, and it's not just about one person doing it all.
Oh, and what do you notice?
I see three birds. And 2 birds.
In an early math learning space, I hope to be seeing lots of joy. I want to be seeing big smiles. I want to be hearing kids shouting about things that they're figuring out or that they're surprised about, or even things that they disagree about. I love it when I see 2 kids in a math class really get into a disagreement about how something works or what the answer is, because then I know they're both thinking really hard.
I should count the 10s and the 4s. Can everyone count the 10s with me?
I want to hear noise. I want to see what I call structured chaos. I want to see kids tinkering and playing with things and counting out loud and questioning and debating one another in respectful ways. I want teachers to teach, but teach in a way where they're more asking questions more than do this, do that, do this. Just taking what kids are already doing, what they're naturally coming with, and just helping them build upon that.
It takes empowering our teachers. We have teacher leaders in our buildings. We have coaches who support our teachers in many different ways. And we have a true understanding with our core beliefs across the district that we will meet our students where they are.
You have the right to make mistakes. You have the right to be heard. You have the right to not understand things sometimes. So making sure that the kids understand they have all these rights as learners collectively in the classroom.
I want all kids to be proud of themselves and see themselves as mathematicians.
And I hope that they can understand a little bit more broadly what mathematics is. So I hope they can find their joy and their confidence in themselves that math doesn't need to be one certain way. It's however they might be seeing it.
That we see the value in each student that walks through the door, right? That we recognize that parents send their absolute best. Whatever it is, that child is their absolute best, their most precious gift. And so that as we're teaching, we're coming from that point of view.
When you look at the community, I think it's really important to know who your community is, the demographics, and really kind of honoring who they are.
I try to communicate as much as I can just to let parents know that we're in this together with their child's learning. I attribute all my success as a teacher to that, because once your families are on board and your students feel safe and family and the parents see that you care about their child's education and learning, the sky's the limit.
That line from Dr. Banks, parents send their absolute best, always stands out. That's just a quick reminder of what we're striving for, what we're working toward. You hear a lot of themes in that video that hopefully are transcending the work that we're doing on the screen. Now you kind of see how this is playing out for us. It's the early math team's role, along with all of the partners across the state, to advance that vision that we had in the video. And we see that as supporting ISDs and local leaders to be able to lead the work in their context. On the right-hand side, some ways that you all have been engaged in that are Leader Series, Adult Learning Principles. Those two specifically, along with Learning Labs and probably the Leadership Institute, are at the leadership level and system level and supporting the systems change that actually supports this type of instructional change in classrooms. We also have Essentials in Action, modules, YouTube channel. There's a long list of things that aren't here, but hopefully you're seeing these things play out in ways that advance the vision from the video. The next piece on our agenda are a few updates. The first one around CGI, or cognitively guided instruction. As we've shared before, we're going to be doing some work with Dr. Angela Turow out of UCLA in advancing some of these ideas, specifically around Essential 5 and Essential 7. So cognitively demanding tasks and context-based story problems. You'll see that we have, thanks Heather for putting the link in chat, 3 options to on-ramp into this work. So what Angela is going to support us with first is offer 3 virtual opportunities. They're an hour and a half long. The first one, May 30, the second one, June 6, and the third one, July 25. We hope that this is an opportunity for all of us across the state to on-ramp into CGI and what that research says, and specifically learn from Angela about the principled ideas. The 4 principled ideas are on the screen now. I'll just give us a second to read through those. So those ideas are in this hour and a half virtual option of these 3 things will be what Angela talks to us about and helps us engage with. Know that registration is open. Heather did put that in chat now. You can go ahead and get registered, hold it on your calendar, and as the date approaches, more information will be sent out. And I think we also have that flyer probably that we can put in. Sonia, if you're still listening and available at a computer, feel free to throw that link to the flyer in case people would like to take a look at that as well. Next up is our Leadership Institute. This one was shared last month as well. We just want to make sure we get this in front of as many audiences as possible. We are going to be in Grand Rapids at Amway on August 5, 6 in the morning of the 7th for our Early Math Leadership Institute. As you all know, thank you, Heather, for throwing that in there. As you all know, we have done this for 2 years in a row. This will be year 3. So you all know the structure. We invite ISD teams to join us. We're also inviting local district leadership teams as well. So if you fit any one of those definitions of audience, feel free to get registered. We are inviting some local literacy leaders as well to join us on Tuesday, because Tuesday of this event will be an overlap between literacy and math, where we're talking about discourse in classrooms and providing some resources and structures around what discourse looks like across literacy, mathematics, and other content areas. So look forward to that. Registration is live. Feel free to get registered, and we'll be excited to join everybody in August. The third, we have an early childhood or pre-K Train the Trainer coming up on June 10 and 11. We did share this one back in December, but I know it seems like an eternity ago now that it's April. So we would just want to put it back in front of us. This one's almost full. I think there's 40 or so spots left. So know that if this is something that you're interested in, or you have pre-K teams or leaders that you support, feel free to share this with them. We will be in Lansing at the Kellogg Center. There is a remote option in Marquette for access. And Amy Noel Parks from Michigan State, someone who works closely with us, is going to be leading these 2 days in supporting leaders for pre-K around some of the essentials, and also providing slides, resources, documents to send people away with so they can do similar trainings in their context. So we do call this one a Train the Trainer. It'll be a great learning space for everybody, but you'll also get the resources to take home with you to be able to facilitate learning in your context. So look forward to that one. Like I said, that one's getting close to being full. It will fill, I'm quite sure. Knowing that it's June 10 and 11, it's approaching. If you're interested or know someone who might be, feel free to share it so they can get registered quickly. And that's the end of the formal topics from our agenda. But as always, we always pause and create space for any additional questions, topics, comments, suggestions. It's wide open. So I'll pause and take a look at chat and see if anything is coming in. In the meantime, thank you, Sonia, for the CGI flyer. Mary Ann's asking updates on 23H. Nothing new that I've heard of. I've been interested in hearing about a timeline as well. I know, and many of you know, that MDE was looking for additional reviewers because there were so many applications. So my hunch is that's going to slow the timeline down just a little bit, but I haven't heard from the department any specifics on what the official timeline might be. As I hear those things, I'll be sure to communicate those out. So Marianne, sorry, I'm interested as well, but haven't heard anything yet. You're welcome. Any other questions, comments? Going once, approaching last call. Okay, this is a reminder that our next live update, similar to this structure, will be May 17th. This will be our last one for this school year. We won't have one in June or July. Chances are we'll pick back up in August. We'll communicate about that as well. so that everybody knows our structure that we'll utilize next year. The feedback that we've had is that these are light, easy ways to engage and are useful. So if that's the case, please let us know. And if it is useful, we'll continue to offer them in the next school year. If anything ever is a question or you're wondering about something, know that myself, Trish, Sonia, and others are always available. Feel free to reach out. Send an email, give us a call. We're happy to support in any ways that might be helpful. With that, thanks, Tori. With that, we'll send everybody off to a wonderful weekend. I know looking behind me in the screen, it looks sunny, looks beautiful. It's not 70 yet like we're hoping for, but I feel like we're trending in that direction. So I hope you all have a great weekend, a great week. And if we don't talk before then, a great end of the school year. We'll see you on May 17th. Have a great day.